Have you ever wondered how an ant colony starts? How does it all begin? We all know how a massive army of ants looks like, but where does it all begin? Well guys, what if I told you that everything begins with her? You see that absolutely huge ant? Well, that's actually an ant queen, and today, this very young colony will get its very first meal. In this test tube lies a queen ant and her first set of workers, known as nanitics. But this colony is not just any colony. This species is called black garden ant, scientifically known as Lasius niger. You know this, girls. Your typical small black ant crawling in your garden or infesting your home. On their own, these girls aren't actually anything special. They're small, they don't sting or spray formic acid, as some species do, yet they are one of the most fearsome ant species in the entire world, second only to the legendary fire ants. You may look at them right now and say, they don't look that scary. And actually, you're totally right. You see, this colony is starving. Let me explain. You probably at some point in your life saw the so-called flying ants, the absolutely huge swarms of ants flying around. Well, these ants are actually princes and princesses. You see, every summer ant colonies host a very special event, in which young royal males and females fly into the air and mate. Males die shortly after that. That's why you can sometimes see huge swarms of dead males lying dead on the floor. But what most people don't know is that are just male ants. After that, the impregnated young queen ants tear off their wings and dig a hole in the ground known as a clastrocell, where they start their very own colony. So I caught a young queen ant on her way to make a hole in the ground. I placed her in this test tube and she decided it suits her needs. She laid eggs, which grew into larvae. Larvae became pupa, and now we can see her first workers. But Queen doesn't look very enthusiastic about it, does she? No, the Queen is lying perfectly still in order to preserve her energy. You see, the Queen actually hasn't eaten in months. When a Queen breaks off her wings, she breaks down her strong wind muscles and creates a nutritious soup of a sort, ant milk if you will, with which she feeds all of her larvae, so they grow into adult worker ants. But now this Queen is at an edge of her power. She needs to preserve her energy and hope that her workers will bring her food from the outside world, so she'll have enough energy to continue laying eggs. So without further ado, let's feed them. Where should I place a drop of honey? Definitely not here. This is actually the colony's junkyard. They don't want these waste products near the colonies, so they place them on the opposite side of the test tube. Smart ants. So let's place the honey. Oh, maybe that's a little too much. Let's watch this historical moment for this colony. There comes another one. These ants must really be enjoying the honey. The ant milk must taste great, but the honey must be really blowing away their brains right now. Two ants decided to stay and drink the honey. The third one decided to inform the colony about the food she found, just beyond. She released the pheromones, informing the colony, hey guys, the food is just beyond. The ants were like, oh my god, are you seeing this? So 4 out of 6 workers were enjoying the honey. It's great to see that the honey is such a hit. 2 workers stay with Her Royal Highness just in case of an emergency. Soon the Queen also heard the news of sweet honey. She was like, hey guys, can I get some? But sadly, in young colonies, larvae have priority to the Queen, so the workers fed the larvae and each other first. You see, ants actually have 2 stomachs, an actual stomach and a social stomach. The scouts that brought the honey back regurgitated the honey from their social stomach in order to share it with other sisters in this act of mouth-to-mouth feeding known as trophallaxis. You can actually see how both of them have their mouths connected with the honey. Queen waited patiently for 10-15 minutes, and then finally a worker approached her to give her some honey. But the Queen actually didn't want it. Huh? You see, while workers mostly need carbohydrates, Brood and the Queen mostly need proteins, so the Queen decided to wait until they bring back some actual proteins. Soon, every member of the colony was fed. The colony will live to see another day. But if they really want to explode in population and become a thriving empire, they'll need to hunt down something bigger and more dangerous than a small drop of honey. Coming in the next video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any suggestions on what to name this colony and the queen, leave them in the comments below. And stay tuned for the next video because it's only getting more wild from here on.